Hey guys, it's Angelique, also known as the Light. Welcome to my channel. Please stop what you're doing and click like on this video. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. You won't regret it. If you like spiritual videos, you will not regret it on my channel. If you're looking for a coach who is a spiritual coach, or you're looking for someone who can help kickstart your healing journey, or you suffer with narcissistic abuse, then feel free to book me. All that information is in the comment section or in the description bar. Okay. So let's see what else. Yes, donations. Please get your donations in. Thank you to Deborah, Maria, Savion. I tried to contact you on TikTok, but I don't know if you blocked me or if you just don't have a TikTok anymore. But I just wanted to say thank you. Who else? I think I got everybody. Thank you so much to those who donate every month or once in a blue moon. I really, really appreciate you. The more donations I get, the more phone session bookings I get, the more content I pump out. So I want to keep, sometimes a little airy and fun on my channel. So I'm going to tell y'all a couple of story times because I have a really interesting life. In my little 38 years, I have an interesting life. Okay, so this is a time I didn't know my homegirl liked me. And yeah, so I'm gonna get into the story. I don't want to give too many details in the um in the intro, but let's get right into it. So I used to work at this store in a customer service department, and the customer service department seemed so separate from the rest of the store because it was like tucked away in a corner of the building, and I didn't even know anyone else who worked there basically. And I was only cool with like the people who worked in the shipping department because the shipping department, they were like stuck in the warehouse, and I always have to go back there and help them with like distributing packages. But when it came to other departments in the store, I didn't know anybody. I wasn't trying to talk to anybody. And I've always been that type who goes to work, does their job, clocks out, and does it all over again. I don't like to make friends, and I broke all my rules at this job, and I kind of regret it. Okay, I ain't gonna front. I usually don't regret things, even though I learned lessons from it. But if I can go back and do it again, I probably wouldn't have did this at all. I wouldn't have been friends with anybody from this particular job. And I think if I end up at another 9 to 5, I am going to clock in and clock out and keep it like that. I don't want friends at work. Okay, it's very, very rare to have friends at work and not have drama. Anyway, so I was working in customer service, and I noticed that the girls who were the cashiers in the store, they started noticing me and walking by my desk like, "Hey Angelique, how you doing?" I didn't even know who these girls were. I didn't know their names. How the hell they know my name? I didn't wear my name tag as I was supposed to. But they just kept like, "Oh, you look so nice. I love your hair. I love your lipstick. Where'd you get that from?" Like making conversation with me. And sometimes, if somebody called out, they would bring a cashier girl to come back in customer service and help us. So through time, I got to know them, but I wasn't trying to befriend them. So one day, one of the cashier girls comes to me and they're like, "Listen, I see that we all have the same schedule." I guess they checked the schedule to see, like, they always had a listing of the schedule in the break room. So if you want to know your schedule or take a screenshot of it, a photo of it, then that's how you knew. So they must have checked to see what my schedule was, and they figured out that we were gonna get off on this same day at the same time. So it was around the holiday. Don't know if it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, but it was one of those two. So they were like, "Yo, let's go to dinner. Let's have drinks. You seem like a fun person. Do you want to hang out with us?" And I was like, "Well, I'll let y'all know. I'll see how my check is on Friday. I'm not really sure." And they were like, "Come on, just come out with us. We'll go somewhere cheap. Don't worry, we'll have a good time." So I confided in my older coworker. She's in her 50s. And I was like, you think I should go out with these girls? And she was like, don't be like that. They seem cool. You know, they seem fun. Just go. It's not gonna hurt for you to just go out with them. And I was like, I don't know. Something in my spirit kept telling me not to go, but I let this auntie at work convince me, like, yeah, just go. Don't be a prude. Just go. Friday comes, we clock out, we take a bus to the restaurant. When we get on the bus, these girls say to me, "Oh, do you know that we're all lesbian?" And I'm like, "All right, cool. Do y'all all know I'm strictly dickly?" And they all bust out laughing, but I was dead ass serious. Like, I really did not care about them being lesbian or gay or pansexual. So a couple of them start saying, "Yeah, I have a girlfriend. I live with my girlfriend. Yeah, I'm bisexual. Yeah, I'm pansexual." And it's really awkward to me because, straight people, from my experience, we don't like really sit around like saying like, yeah, we're straight or whatever. Or I guess we don't have to like, oh hi, I'm straight. We don't do that. But I understand it's different for gay people, bisexual people, where they feel like they have to say their sexuality or hide it, so I can't relate to that. So I was just like, oh, I hope this is not going to be an issue, with these young ladies, because I really don't care about people's sexual preference. Like, I can have a full-fledged conversation and never mention a man. Like, that's just me being a straight woman. But anyway, I actually had a good time. We had drinks, we had dinner, appetizers, everything. We had a good time. Was there for a couple of hours, and while we were talking, we were starting to talk about the coworkers, the other people at work, and I was just like, well, there is no cuties at work. Like, I wouldn't talk to anybody at work, but there's not even any eye candy. And honestly, most of the people at work were in their 20s. I'm in my 30s, so I wouldn't be checking for the 20 something year olds anyway. So they was like, oh, there's one cute black guy at work. And I was like, really? No, there isn't. Where he at? Like, who is he? And they were like, let me give him a name. They was like, let's see, Malik. They was like, oh, Malik is cute. And I'm like, who the hell is Malik? So they were like, oh, let's go to his Instagram. So they pull up Malik, and I'm looking at Malik, and I'm like, oh yeah, I saw him like twice. But what happened is I had like I would come in at 2 p.m. and Malik would either leave at 2 p.m. for work because he came in like at 6, or he would leave at 3 o'clock. And sometimes I would never see Malik. But I think I was probably working there for like a good 6 months. But I only saw Malik twice. I thought he was cute, but I thought Malik was like 18. No lie, Malik looked young. Like, I thought he was young, but come to find out, he wasn't that young. Anyway, so I thought he was cute, and I really didn't think about it. I didn't think about Malik or whatever the case was. And so after dinner, we all part, but there's one girl that stayed around. So let's call her Scorpio because she was a Scorpio. So all the girls, we hug each other. Everyone goes and scatters. They go about their business. And I'm like, well, I'm going to go up to, I think it was Marshall's or Burlington Coat Factory, something like that. I was like, well, I got a little money left. I just got paid, so I want to go buy some items from Century 21 or Burlington or whatever store it was. So Scorpio was like, well, can I still kick it with you? And I'm like, yeah, girl, come on, let's go. So me and Scorpio, we walk around, we start shopping and having a good time. And we exchanged numbers, and we kept in touch. And eventually, sometimes where people would quit in the customer service department, or there wasn't enough staff, they end up calling Scorpio from the front of the store to come help me back in customer service. So that's how me and Scorpio started to get close. That's what I thought. So eventually, me and Scorpio started going out to dinner with each other, talking every night. Um, then Valentine's Day was coming up, right? And Scorpio was like, hey girl, what are you doing for Valentine's Day? And I was just like, yo, I'm single. I'm not really sure. It is my homeboy's birthday. We usually go out for dinner for his birthday on Valentine's Day, but I'm not really sure why. What's up? What's going on? I'm like, you don't got no date? And Scorpio was like, no, I don't have a date. And keep in mind, I really I didn't know what was Scorpio's like. Scorpio said on the bus that she was pansexual, and I'm ignorant as hell when it comes to the gay community. I'm not even gonna front because I just don't know the lingo. I don't really get into it and try to learn the variations and all that. I can't, like, I to me, I know it sounds very ignorant, but it's just like, okay, gay, straight, bisexual, okay, that's it. Like, I stopped at that. Like, I'm sorry, I don't really study and go into it, and trans and bi and binary and all these labels. I can't keep up. So she said she was pansexual. I didn't know what that was, right? So I didn't know what that was, and I was kind of confused because she always talked about guys. She always talked about men. She even had a Instagram page dedicated to a celebrity. I'm gonna say it was Usher. I don't want to say who it really was, but she had like this Usher fan page, and even Usher's like mom reached out to her and was like, "Oh, thank you. We like your fan page." So I was like, "Oh wow, maybe she's really attracted to men." And eventually I did look up what a pansexual was, and I didn't realize that pansexuals are attracted, I guess, to spirit first. It doesn't matter. The person could be trans, a person could be a man, a woman. They're really attracted to connection, and it's really not about, I guess, gender, so to say, right? So I looked it up, but I wasn't thinking in my head like, oh, my friend is attracted to me. That was like the last thing on my mind. We always talked about men and things like that. And then I asked Scorpio, has she ever been with a man? Because, I'm not a virgin. And she was like, no, I've never been with a man before. So I was like, wow, you're in your late 20s and you're a virgin. That's beautiful. Like, that's good. Keep it like that, because these men will have you crying out here. Like, keep your legs closed for as long as you can. Like, that's a huge accomplishment. In my book, it is, right? So we would talk about guys, and I would tell her about my past experience, and I told her like if she ever needed some tips or whatever, if she decided to lose her virginity, to keep me posted, basically. um she was a Haitian girl, so she was very, very like family oriented, always there for her parents, her mom, her siblings, and I really, really admired that about her. So she was a good girl. Through time, I started to notice that Scorpio, she was more on, I don't even want to say the masculine side, but definitely in comparison to me, she was more on the masculine side. Like, she had the short haircut, her aura was more masculine, but I still viewed her as a woman. I didn't look at her as a man. And I noticed she started to like buy wigs, and she started doing like, her hair and wearing wigs. And then she went and got her toes done, her nails done. She was like, yeah, where you get your wigs from, and where you get your nails done at, and just started shopping more. One thing I will say, she always wore a skirt. Scorpio always had a little mini skirt. She would wear a mini skirt to work, like, in a hot second. And she had the nicest legs. I will get that out to you, girl. You had the nicest legs. And she would say, oh, do you think I'm masculine? She would ask me questions. I'm like, no, I don't think you're masculine. You're just more like tomboyish. Anyway, so she started to work on her appearance and things like that. And whenever people go hang out and stuff, she'll say, well, she'll text me a photo and be like, hey, do you think I should wear this? What do you think about this? And I'm just like, yeah, cool. Yes, wear that. So New Year's Eve came up, and she was just like, what are you going to do for New Year's Eve? Because New Year's Eve is the day my mom passed away. So it was always very special for me to go out and celebrate my mother's life. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go to this party at this spot in um Harlem. And she was like, I'm going with you. You're not going by yourself. I'm going with you. She bought her ticket. I bought my ticket. We had a good time at the party. I got drunk. She got twisted a little bit. And even after the party, I was just like, well, I'm not paying $50 to get back to Queens. She was like, don't worry. And it seemed like every time we would go out to eat, she's like, don't worry, I got you. I'm paying for you. We're going to the movies. Don't worry, I got you. I'm paying for you. You know, I was at work buying something at work, some clothes, and she's like, no, no, no. She came around, was just like, don't worry, I got you. I'm buying you this outfit. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, nah, you don't have to buy anything for me. So every time I turn around, anytime we go out, she's paying, she's buying me gifts. She actually gave me these rose cord earrings. Okay, yep, I still wear them. I love them, girl. Thank you. And, you know, she was basically treating me nicer than some men have ever treated me. But then again, I'm telling you, it never crossed my mind that it was anything more outside of friendship, because I am also a friend that buys people gifts, you know, that buys my female friends gifts, that take them out. Hey girl, you want to go on vacation with me? I'm one of those friends. I'm a Leo. Leos, we love to spend money. So it just never crossed my mind that it was anything else behind why she was being so nice, why she was trying to change her appearance and be more feminine, why she was spending all this money on me. There's been days where I had to like literally say, no, don't worry, I got money, I'm good, you know? Anyway, so yeah, we went out on New Year's Eve. We had a good time. We partied together, and I think we left like about 3 or 4 in the morning. And I was still hyped because when I'm drinking, it like actually heightens my personality. Like I'm want to party, I'm good, I'm open, you know, that type of feeling. Anyway, so after the party, I was like, "Hey, girl, you ready to go home, or you want to come back to my house? We could just eat food and watch a movie." So I invited her back to my house. We watched a movie, and I noticed she was looking very uncomfortable. And I'm like, do you not want to be in my house right now? Is it like dirty to you? Like, what's going on? Are you okay? She looked so nervous, guys. I was just like, this is weird. When I think back to it later on, I know why she was nervous at my house that night. So I think it was probably about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. She finally was just like, yeah, I'm tired now. I'm going to go home. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, we called her Uber. She got home safely. Then Valentine's Day came up. But before we hung out for Valentine's Day, she just suddenly was like, hey, I want to hook you up with my brother. So I was like, you want to hook me up with your brother? I'm like, and I hate hookups. I hate hookups. I feel like if I'm going to make a mistake with a man, let it be my own mistake. Like, I don't want someone to hook me up with somebody and then they dog me out. And then I'm going to be like, damn, I should have chose him. So she sent me a picture of her brother, and her brother looked like exactly like her, which was really scary. But anyway, so she was just like, yeah, my brother saw your photo. He thinks you're really pretty. Do you think you might want to talk to my brother? I said, well, I don't call men. You know, if a man wants me, he has to come to me. So if your brother calls me, we can have a conversation. Maybe we'll have a connection, maybe we won't. So I had one phone call with her brother, and I did not like his personality. He was basically a fuck boy. Yeah, he was her brother was a fuck boy, and I knew that from the conversation. I was just like, this is weird. Like, and I was in my head like, how am I gonna tell this girl like your brother's a fuck boy? But anyway, so Valentine's Day comes up, and she's like, oh, do you have a date for Valentine's Day? And I'm like, actually, I don't have a date for Valentine's Day. She was just like, well, you want to be my date? You want us to go out to eat? And I was like, yeah, girl, we can go out to eat, no problem. We can have a Galentine's Day, no problem. So we go out to dinner, and over dinner, she was just like, I need to ask you something. And I'm like, yeah, girl, what's up? How you doing? You know, I'm drinking my drink, eating my food. What's up? She was like, I want to know, how come you didn't want to date my brother. And I was like, girl, honestly, his conversation was trash. I was kind of getting F boy vibes from him. And she was like, oh, is that the only reason why you didn't want to date him? Is there something that you need to tell me? And I was just like, no, he's not my type. She was just like, are you sure? Like, there's no other reason why you didn't want to date my brother? Is there anything that you need to tell me? And I'm like, no, girl, like, that was it. Like, he just wasn't my type. I don't feel we have a connection. That's all. And I kept eating my food, drinking my drink, didn't think of it. I was like, that was weird, but whatever. So the months keep going by, and one day I see Mr. Malik. Okay, they put me on an early schedule, and I had to open up, customer service. The store opened up, I think it was like maybe 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I usually was on the afternoon schedule, but I had a morning shift, and that's where I see Mr. Malik, and I kind of like get a good glimpse of Mr. Malik. So I'm single, and I was hoping he was too, because I laid eyes on Malik in person, up close, and I was just like, oh, he is cute, right? So I kept seeing Malik throughout the day, and then finally, something in me was just like, you have to talk to him because you're not going to see him because y'all schedule is not going to be the same. It was just something about Malik that made me want to talk to Malik. So Malik walked by my desk, and I was just like, hey, you do you have Instagram? And he stopped, he took my phone, and there was a customer standing there, and she was looking like, okay, I see this, okay, girl. And he put his Instagram, and he was just like, yeah, I'll follow you back. And he did. And me and Malik instantly started talking. I was under the impression that Malik was my twin flame. We had so much in common. We would talk until like the sun would rise. We just had a lot in common, and our conversation was flowing. It was good. The sexual chemistry was even there. I found out he wasn't 18, but he was more like 25. Even though I was 10 years older than he was. We still had a connection. 10, 11 years, whatever it was. I was on my Stella got her groove back moment with him, and I finally like linked up again, but finally hung out with Scorpio. We were out having dinner, and I was like, girl, I got something to tell you. And she was just like, hey, what's up, girl? What's going on? And I was just like, yo, I'm talking to Malik. And the look on Scorpio's face, she was like, what? And I had never seen this sinister look on her face before. I had not even seen her angry. I mean, I did see her get angry like with customers, but not like outside of that. Customer service is hard to like even deal with. So I would see her get like, buck with customers, but I never saw her like outside of work, have this look on her face of sadness, of anger. And the look on her face, she was like, what? She's like, are you serious? She's like, you're choosing Malik? She's like, I give you 3 months. He's going to play you. Y'all are not going to be together. He doesn't like you. He just wants to use you. Malik, of all people, that's who you choosing? That's who you want to be? Huh, this is a joke. This is a joke. Are you freaking kidding me? Malik? Oh my gosh, he doesn't even like you. Doesn't even want you. She's flipping out in Applebee's, guys. And I'm just like, girl, calm down. Like, I'm like, because I don't want nobody in Applebee's to think like this was like an argument. And I'm laughing out of like nervousness because I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm just like, girl, I'm not in love with this boy. Like, we're just having some fun, and that's it. I'm not looking for love from Malik. Like, we're just having a good time. And It seemed like she just wanted to eat and get the hell away from me and get out of here. Like, get out of there, right? After that dinner, after I told her about me and Malik, I didn't hear from her. Like, she stopped answering my calls. She stopped texting me. Um, like, if I called her, we went from talking like every single day to, like, even if she didn't have to work that day, she would always call me and be like, "Hey girl, like, how was work?" And we would be on the phone for like a good hour or two, you know. Like, "Hey girl, you wanna go to dinner?" "Nah, I'm busy. I'm dealing with my family. I have things to do." She started avoiding me. And then she literally stopped showing up at work. And then one day I called her and I was like, "Hey girl, is everything all right?" She was like, "Yeah, I just got family problems." And I'm like, "Girl, you've been working at this job for 4 years. You're just not going to show up." I'm like, "Did you call out?" And because I'm customer service, I picked up the store call. So when people were calling out, I spoke to them first. So it was me who had to listen to people say, "Oh, I'm sick, I'm calling out," or, "I'm coming in late." It was me that would relay the messages to the managers if they were busy. And most of the time, I wouldn't transfer them. I would just take off the anxiety from them and just let the manager know who was not coming in that day and who, was late, going to be late that day, and what time they were coming in. And she never called in, so I was covering for her and telling people like she was sick. And the manager was just like, "Yo, I noticing that Scorpio hasn't been into work in 2 or 3 days. Like, is she okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, she's just sick. She'll be okay and she's gonna come in." Homegirl never came back to work. She never came back to work. And I'm not being narcissistic or whatever the case is, but I think she really did hate the job. But when she realized that I didn't like her back the same or whatever the case is, and it had to click. It didn't click to me, believe it or not, until she left. And that's when I realized, yeah, she was really hurt. She did have feelings for me. And it all started ringing, all these bells started ringing off in my head when I realized there was another pansexual girl at work. And I remember we had like a, what's it called? What is those things called when you swap gifts at work? What is it called? Secret Santa. And one of the girls, she was my Secret Santa, and I bought her a gift. And I remember Scorpio standing there, and when I was giving the other girl, a gift, I remember she was like, huh, and making faces. So, you know, I just started putting all of her behavior and things to the point I even went to Malik and I was just like, "Malik, did you sleep with Scorpio?" And he's like, "Who's Scorpio?" I'm like, so I described Scorpio to him and he was like, "Oh, I know Scorpio." He's like, "I don't know her like that, but isn't she friends with so and so?" He's like, I never even had a conversation with Scorpio, even though she's been working there for a couple of years. I don't know Scorpio like that. Nah, I never slept with Scorpio. I don't know Scorpio." So, yeah, I put in one and two together. She completely ghosted me, guys. She never answered my calls. Somebody told me that they saw her working at the local mall and that she did get a new job. She never spoke to me again. But I still wear the earrings you gave me, girl. You were a good person, but one thing I would say is this: don't befriend people if you have other intentions for them. Sometimes you might win the girl or you might win the guy, but if you know from the beginning that you have this sexual attraction to somebody, don't try to befriend them. That shit is so corny. Don't try to befriend people. And guys do this a lot too. I've had male friends do this to me as well. Don't try to befriend people in order to convince them to love you or like you or sleep with you. That's corny. That's lame. Okay. And it's sad because, she really was a good friend. And I know that I was a good friend to her. I bought her things too. I gave her great advice too. We had good times together. And, she basically threw out a good friendship because of her attraction and her feelings. But then again, some people would say, well, what's the sense of being friends with someone who you can't have? I guess so. But, good friends are very, very hard to find out here. So don't do no lame shit like that no more. I'm telling you, girl, if you ever come across this video, and I hope you find the perfect person for you, man, woman, I hope you do, because you really do deserve it. All right, guys, that's my story time today. Peace and blessings. And be honest. Be honest with people, because you never know, they may have feelings for you, and if they don't got feelings for you, that means because something better is coming along your way. All right, don't forget to donate, and don't forget to book your phone sessions. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.